I started researching vaccines and the components in vaccines and decided that that was not a good idea for him at the time. I was really nervous to make that decision given my medical background, and I was really fearful that he would become ill with a vaccine preventable illness.
And is that what was ingrained into you in your training as a nurse?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that vaccines are great and they prevent illness. I didn't really learn anything specifically about them, but just that they were good and to give them. So as I started researching vaccines more, I was horrified to find the things that were in them, the things that they were grown on. My child, who has a milk protein allergy, was receiving vaccines that were grown on casein mediums, cells, aborted fetal cells, formaldehyde, and I mean the list goes on and on and on. The aluminum, and just decided that he's one of those types of patients that doesn't tolerate that. He has a MTHFR mutation, he's homozygous, and his body just as a whole just doesn't process our environment well. And I just feel that it's really important that people should be able to make their own decisions, medical decisions about their care. Oh, Oliver! Nana can't have both of you guys. Huh?
That's cute. That's Oliver.
Hi, Oliver! Yes, so I'm Stacia Whitaker. I'm actually a neonatal nurse practitioner here in a local hospital.
Neonatal nurse practitioner in a local hospital. And you are?
Ray Whitaker.
And what do you do?
Construction management.
Nice.
And this is Everett. He's 3.
And is your oldest child?
Yes, he's our oldest. And then our youngest is 9 months.
And before we tell the story, my guess is Oliver's had no vaccines.
Yes, Oliver's vaccine free.
Right, okay, so we know where this story's going.
Yes.
Okay, good for Oliver.
Yeah.
And by the way, he can run around the bus.
Okay, go run around.
He can do whatever he likes.
He wants that
Not a
ball.
problem. He wants what?
He wants that ball back.
What ball?
The ball. Here you go, bud.
He can pretty much do whatever he likes.
Okay, just don't hurt yourself.
Okay.
So, Everett's story actually started I believe the first day that he came home from the hospital. The nurses kept him out in the nursery a lot, and
So wait, he was born premature or normal?
no, normal.
Why would they keep your son out in the nursery?
Well, because I think they were trying to help me. Because when we got home,
Or vaccinate him? Have you checked?
No, he did get vaccinated, and we consented to it. So the first night we got home, being naive parents that we were gonna like work together and take care of him together, and neither of us even got any ounce of sleep until 3 a.m. because all he did was scream all night long, and that's what he did.
Scream, that horrible scream.
For 6 months he screamed. And the only time he didn't scream was after his 2, 4, and 6 month vaccinations. He slept for about 2 days after each round of vaccines. And then you just get caught up in living your life. And when I went back to work and I realized that I could calm and settle the babies that I worked with, some of which were withdrawing from medication more than I could my own son, I finally started to realize that something was very wrong. He also had severe gastrointestinal problems and was on prescription formula. And then as we tried to introduce foods in his first year of life, he just continued to not tolerate food after food after food. So much so that around 14 to 16 months, he continued to be on prescription formula and only tolerated avocados and sweet potatoes.
What is prescription formula? Give me an example.
We're on Similac Alimentum.
Essentially, the milk protein's already broken down, so
Because
his body could handle.
Because he couldn't tolerate any dairy or soy or gluten.
When did you work out it was the vaccine? I mean, I know your profession, he's fine. Your profession.
I started to learn more about his gut and all the gut problems that he had, so I started seeking out doctors that.
Wait, please, not the bowl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not a good one. That is kind of good for me. That is a baddie.
think you
Not too much.
underestimate what he
Yeah.
will do.
There's fish there. If they come out of the water, then that's it. That's probably not a good idea. You might get through the Actually, I did underestimate it. I forgot what it's like to have little children. Mine are all big grown-up lumps.
He never stops.
That's a classic. I'm amazed there's nothing he can really do to the truck. That's not
But he could do something to himself.
Yeah.
So,
We want to hear from you.
so we I started trying to find doctors that knew more about gut health, and it led me to a local doctor here.
I tell you what, why don't you sit there, and then we can, and I'll come here, and you come on here, and then we can watch him.
Okay.
So let's get back to the story.
So I found a local physician that kind of started helping us work with his gut health and restoring his microbiome. And then I started realizing how involved everything was with Everett and how he just really doesn't process the environment. He reacted to clothes he wore, different things he would be next to, food. So naturally, medications, he's got a growing list of medication allergies.
Okay.
So naturally,
That door does open, yeah.
Careful, it's a big drop.
That's alright, I'll be good.
hey Everett, you're gonna go out there with Daddy.
Come on,
Go get Nanny. Go.
come on.
Hey.
So have you had any grief from your medical colleagues? Have they given you a hard time?
A lot of them don't know a whole lot. A couple of them do know, but all that most of them know is that I decline the flu vaccine for myself at work.
And do you have to wear one of those masks?
No, you have to file for a religious exemption and just go through that process. But no, I don't have to wear a mask. And actually, I had an opportunity to kind of talk with some of them because they didn't really understand about why anyone would have a religious exemption to a vaccine, and so I talked to them about the different components of them, and particularly the aborted fetal cells, and they had no idea that any of that was in a vaccine, and so they actually were like, oh, well, I guess I could see if you were, really against abortion and those processes that you could. It could be understandable that someone would want to exempt from that.
Your children are really on the go, aren't they?
Yeah.
Energetic. You're so cute.
I'm gonna get your camera.
Ah. What do you think about what's happened to your son?
Pretty outraged, to be honest. After, obviously I don't have the knowledge my wife does, but after, hearing what's actually in these vaccines, the fact that they're not even really regulated by our government, and yet many people are pushing to mandate them. I'm pretty outraged. Consider myself kind of a constitutionalist of sorts. I think it's against our Bill of Rights, and I feel like more people need to educate themselves and learn to stand up for what's right.
What do you think about the fact that you were actually lied to? You were led to believe that the vaccines, you said your wife was lied to when she was training to be a nurse. There's just non-stop corruption and lies.
Yeah, that's the reality of the world that we live in. People don't really care about the well-being of the person beside them anymore if it means they can gain another dollar. It's ridiculous. At what point is enough?
To put money before your
Yes.
child. It's not okay. Right, thank you for telling your story. Is there anything else you want to add to this?
That he's completely vaccine-free, has received no
This
vaccines.
one is?
Yes.
I know I can smell.
And I can tell a difference already with him. He's much more social and interactive. He is just more of a mild-mannered baby, never screamed like Everett screamed, and he's doing really well.
Yeah, Everett was on that track too. We talk about it all the time, the fact that, when he was around, 8-9 months old, he started babbling mama, dada, and then that stopped for a year or better. and then finally he started picking it back up. But he definitely regressed, and it's happened multiple times in his life.
Yeah, the physicians that we go to, since he didn't receive any vaccines after 6 months, just that the aluminum and the other adjuvants that are still within his system every time that he gets sick, that virus can just flare up his entire immune system because of the autoimmune disease that's been occurring since he's had his vaccines. So he definitely struggles with it. And it's something that I worry about, that at any point he could, slip back into regressing again. So
I mean, it happened when he had fallen, gotten stitches, and doctor came in, talked to us. Obviously talked to Station Moore myself, but we had made the choice that he got cut on the bottom of his lip, and it was well, we can hold him down, not sedate. Maybe we can get the stitches in. Probably going to traumatize him, just work him up, and we're going to end up sedating anyway, so we chose to sedate. Doctor warned us, I think it was 1 in 20,000, is that right?
0.1%.
Yeah, it's like 1 in 20,000 kids can react to ketamine, and Everett did. Essentially, it's a laryngospasm. The vocal cords tighten up in the back of their throat and air can't pass. Doctor was aware of it before he gave it. He made sure he had a bag there. He bagged Everett through it, but his O2 sat dropped to 48 before he got him back. And every time that an event like this happens in Everett's life now, he regresses because of it. He's been damaged. I mean, that's the only way to put it.
We're really sorry. What's happened to you guys? Has he signed the bus?
Yeah, we'll say that.
You are just too cute.
Yeah. So get your phone. I love phones.
Julie, thank you for telling the story.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.